Welcome back. Today is March 14th, 2026. There's a lot of news to process today. Take a breath. We're going to look at the signals together and find the what you need to know. Think about this for a second. We aren't just looking at another headline from a distant land. When the US military strikes Karg Island, they are hitting the very heart of Iran's economy. This is a massive shift from trying to contain a conflict to engaging in direct economic warfare. Here is why this matters at your dinner table tonight. Karg Island is where Iran exports its oil. By hitting it, we are destabilizing the global energy market on purpose. You're likely to see a surge in gasoline prices almost immediately, and it invites a level of retaliation that could change how we live our daily lives. This leads us directly to the water. Iran has effectively throttled the Strait of Hormuz, using mines and drones to create a maritime chokehold. It's hard to overstate how critical this is for you. About 20% of the world's oil flows through that narrow passage. If a coalition can't reopen it quickly, we aren't just talking about expensive gas. We are talking about a potential global recession that could hit every sector of the American economy. It's a moment where a geography lesson becomes a very real concern for your personal savings and job security. While our ships are tied up there, we are seeing a terrifying shift in how war is actually fought. Cheap Iranian Shahid drones are currently overwhelming our most sophisticated defenses. It is a math problem that doesn't favor us. Imagine a $20,000 drone forcing us to fire a $2 million missile just to stop it. This asymmetric gap means our technical superiority is being neutralized by sheer volume. For the families of service members, this is a heavy realization. It means our people are facing unprecedented risks from technology that is as cheap as a used car but as deadly as a fighter jet. That strain is showing in our hardware, too. We just saw a tragic refueling tanker crash in Iraq that took the lives of 6 crew members, while another plane returned home limping with heavy damage. These tankers are the silent backbone of everything we do in the air. Without them, our planes can't stay up, and our ground troops lose their protection. When we lose these specialized crews and aging aircraft, we lose the ability to sustain operations. It's a reminder that our military machinery is being pushed past its breaking point, and the human cost is climbing every single day. The rhetoric is also changing in a way that should give us all pause. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has signaled a no-quarter policy for certain Iranian engagements. This means moving away from traditional military rules like taking prisoners or accepting surrenders. If we stop following the Geneva Convention standards, we enter the territory of total war. This makes a diplomatic exit almost impossible and puts any American who might be captured in extreme danger. It's a fundamental shift in who we are as a nation on the battlefield, and it leaves very little room for peace. And the fire is spreading. Israel is intensifying its campaign in Lebanon, and a massive ground invasion looks like it's just around the corner. We are watching the same doctrine of destruction we saw in Gaza move north. This moves the entire region toward a multi-front war that is increasingly difficult to contain. For us at home, the human ripple is clear. The more this expands, the higher the probability that the US will be forced to put boots on the ground to support our primary ally. It's a shadow that hangs over every young person of service age right now. We also have to realize that this war isn't staying over there. Intelligence officials are warning about sleeper cells and lone attackers right here in our own communities. We've already seen a tragic ramming at a synagogue in Michigan. Security experts are telling us to brace for more domestic violence linked to these foreign conflicts. It's a heavy thing to carry, knowing that the tensions of the Middle East are manifesting as physical threats at our malls, our houses of worship, and our streets. It changes how we look at our surroundings and how we move through our daily lives. To make matters more complicated, our response to the oil crisis is creating a rift with our oldest friends. The US has started easing sanctions on Russian oil to help lower gas prices at home, but our European allies are furious. They see this as a betrayal of the unified front against Moscow. If the transatlantic alliance collapses, we could find ourselves diplomatically isolated. Think about what that means. If we are distracted in the Middle East and isolated from Europe, it emboldens Russia to expand its influence even further. We are trading long-term security for a temporary break at the gas pump. Other nations are already taking advantage of this distraction. North Korea just fired 10 ballistic missiles into the sea in a massive show of force. They are testing us while they know our eyes are on Iran. This creates a two-theater threat that strains our ability to protect our interests in the Pacific. It's a high-stakes game of global chess, and right now, the board is looking very crowded. It makes the world feel smaller and much more volatile than it did even a few months ago. Back home, our own government is struggling to keep the lights on. The Department of Homeland Security shutdown has hit the one-month mark, and it's creating a crisis at our airports. TSA and Border Patrol agents are working without pay, and many simply can't afford to show up anymore. If the people responsible for our safety are facing financial insolvency, our national security is compromised from within. It's a reminder that political gridlock in Washington has a direct impact on whether you can safely travel to see your family or feel secure at our borders. At the same time, we're seeing a radical shift in how our taxes are being spent. A new government efficiency initiative is using unregulated AI to cut federal grants. Viral videos have shown staffers using things like ChatGPT to decide which programs to kill, often with an indifference to the lives they are affecting. This bypasses the people we elected to represent us. When an algorithm decides who gets help and who doesn't, we lose the human element of governance. It's a structural shift that could leave millions of citizens without the resources they rely on, all decided by a line of code. To cover budget gaps, the administration is turning to sweeping new tariffs on goods from China, Europe, and India. While this is framed as a trade investigation, the reality for you is simpler. It's a permanent increase in the cost of almost everything you buy. From electronics to clothing, these tariffs act like a national sales tax on the middle class. At a time when gas and food are already expensive, this adds another layer of financial pressure to every single American household. Your paycheck simply isn't going as far as it used to. There's also a big change coming to how we build our communities. The White House is moving to bypass local zoning laws to speed up home construction. While we desperately need more affordable housing, this is a federal power grab over your neighborhood. It strips local communities of their ability to decide how they want to grow. You might see lower housing costs in the future, but it comes at the price of losing a say in the character and density of the place you call home. It's a trade-off between supply and local control. Looking toward the next year, the news from the agricultural sector is concerning. The war in the Middle East is disrupting the production of nitrogen-based fertilizers. Experts are warning of a food shock that will hit our grocery stores by late 2026. If farmers can't get what they need for the spring planting cycle, we're looking at significant food inflation and shortages. This is why a war thousands of miles away matters when you are walking down the aisle of your local market. The ripples of conflict eventually reach every shelf. Finally, the way we participate in our democracy is changing. New federal mandates for proof of citizenship for voter registration are being passed in several states. For many, this could become a significant burden, especially for those who don't have easy access to birth certificates or passports. It could fundamentally change who shows up to vote in the upcoming midterms. It's a reminder that our voice in the system is something we have to actively protect as the rules of engagement shift around us. The news was heavy, but you are not carrying it alone. Stay connected. Stay present. We are right here with you. See you in the next brief.